a new band of rebels arose who were determined to carry the fight to Jerusalem. The SICARRI. To the SICARRI, anyone who wasn't fighting the Romans was a collaborator and worthy of death.
Many were slain every day, and the fear men were in was worse than the calamity itself.
All right, first and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world enemy calls Christ, the mediator, YASHARAHLA. He was up at the border, the U.S.-Mexico border here in San Ysidro, California, teaching our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Issachar predominantly, but also other tribes. Judah was out there, etc., etc. We was teaching them, and we know there's a controversial immigration issue, especially now that Trump is president-elect and things of that nature, which, you know, one of the reasons that the so-called white man championed him was due to his policy and outlook on immigration. So it kind of sparked through the spirit idea in my head to do some research. So I started doing some research on the proposal of implantation rather of tracking RFID chips in immigrants as a furtherance of the mark of the beast. And, you know, through my research, I found that they've been talking about this since 10 years ago. All right, so this is not a new thing, and this is a plan and something that they've been cultivating over the course of a very long time. So I believe that there's a high potential that this may be proposed as a way to supplement the immigration issue, the unlikelihood of a wall being built being so high. Possibly this could come in to supplement and to appease the masses of white people who want these immigrants gone, but at the same time further the agenda of transhumanism and, of course, the enforcing of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip. All right, so I want to deal with this now. I want to just take a look at this article. Okay, it's serious. Just via livescience.com. Scott Silverman, chairman of the board of Verichip Corporation, has proposed implanting the company's RFID tracking tags in immigrant and guest workers. He made the statement on national television on May the 16th. Silverman was being viewed on Fox and Friends, responding to the Bush administration's call to know who is in our country and why they're here. Again, this is going back all the way to the Bush administration. He proposed using Verichip RFID implants to register workers at the border and then verify their identities in the workplace. He added, "We have talked to many people in Washington about using it." Right? So this is not a new thing. Again, this is 10 years old, and this is a thing that has a very high probability to become a reality, especially if it was of high probability to become a reality a decade ago. Okay, the Verichip is a very small radio frequency identification tag about the size of a large grain of rice. It can be injected directly into the body. A special coating on the casing helps the Verichip bond with living tissue and stay in place. A special RFID reader broadcasts a signal that the antenna in the Verichip draws power from the signal and sends its data. The Verichip is a passive RFID tag. Since it does not require a battery, it has a virtually unlimited lifespan. This is a technology that they've been cultivating for some time, and they've been trying to perfect it, and this is why it has yet to be implemented, because they haven't truly perfected the technology. And of course, it's all a part of the timeline of prophecy of the Most High, because everything has to happen in its time. It's on the Most High's time, so certain prophecies have to come to pass. A certain amount of Israelites have to wake up before certain things are enforced and certain prophecies, you know, take place. It says the RFID tags have been long used to identify animals in a variety of settings. Livestock, laboratory animals, and pets have been chipped for decades. Privacy advocates have long expressed concerns about this technology being used in human beings, right? So, but of course they want to use it in people who they look at as subhuman, which are our brothers coming from Latin American countries, chiefly Mexico, who are migrant workers, right? With their, which proves the point that we, Hebrew Israelites, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, pursuant to our patrilineage, we are the primary targets of this mark of the beast, which is why the Most High, you know, warned us about it and told us about it in the book of Revelations, because it pertains to us. It doesn't matter how many whites or Asians or whoever puts this chip in them. They're not going to make it anyway. We're the only people who have eligible for salvation. So it's important and imperative for us to understand this, be aware of this, and know when they try to implement this, not to take it, right? So watch though, and I'm gonna show you how it goes to all Latin Americans. In a related story, Colombian President Alvaro Uribe allegedly remarked that microchips could be used to track seasonal workers to visiting United States, and this is a key talking point in this conversation of its implementation. So you know, it's very possible. I'm not saying this for sure. This is going to be it, or this is for sure going to happen like this, but you know, it's just something to think about, and you know, we are to watch. You know, we've been going into this and pushing this. We here in San Diego, the motto of the city is Semper Vigilance, meaning always watching. So this is what we must do. We must be sentinels, watchmen for the Most High, watchmen for the nation of Israel and our people, constantly warning our people, constantly teaching and educating and edifying our people. That's what we got to do. So this is why this is important. I mean, imperative. And again, this is 10 years old. 10 years ago, before I even knew I was a Hebrew Israelite, they were already talking about chipping migrant workers, you know, chipping our Latin American brothers, you know, the various Northern Kingdom tribes. So this is very real, and this is what we need to talk about, right? So Senators Jeff Sessions, of Alabama, and Arlen Specter of Pennsylvania, President Uribe said he would consider having Colombian workers have microchips implanted in their bodies before they are permitted to enter the United States for seasonal work. Specter told Congress on April the 25th, implanting microchips in human beings for the purpose of monitoring is not exactly news for science fiction fans. Alfred Bester wrote Skull Bugs in his 1974 novel, The Computer Connection. So this is something that they've been writing about and talking about for a very long time, and it's very real. And we need to stop acting like it's not real and it's not going to come, and they're not going to implement this, and it's not the mark of the beast. Okay, so furthering on, you don't know what's going on in this crazy culture outside. It's a bugged and drug world. 90% of the BODs have bugs implanted in their skulls in hospitals when they are born. They're monitored constantly. This is exactly what it says in the book of Revelations. Okay, that engraved mark, which is that microchip being implanted into the heads or the right hands of individuals to monitor them and to play God, right? Verichips are legal for implantation rather in the United States. See Verichip RFID tag patient implant badges now FDA approved. See also a related story on proposed national worker DNA fingerprint database. Read more at RFID chip implants for guest workers. Latin leader keen on ID chips. Latin leaders are keen on ID chips and chip implants for migrant workers. So as we see, our people are even pushing this on ourselves. Why? Because there's an incentive in it from the devil, from the white man, and a lot of our people have jumped into bed with the white man with absolutely no issue. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get a few scriptures on this. A few scriptures on this, and just understand that if you're a so-called Latin brother, especially, of course, this goes to all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, but your so-called Latino brother or sister, you may be trying to get citizenship. You know, they may be trying to, you know, coerce you that it could ease the process, or it'll be totally acceptable, or the only way is to accept this chip, to say no to this chip at all costs. You don't want to be in Babylon anyway. This place getting ready to get bombarded with a thermonuclear holocaust from its enemies, man, according to biblical prophecy. Right, so Revelations 13-16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Boom. This is what it is. They wrote about it in that book, Computer Connection. It was in the skulls. They're going to put it in hands. All of that, man. Y'all know the information. Let's not act stupid. Let's not act like this doesn't perfectly fit this prophecy. Let's stop acting like that, man. All right? Do we understand that certain brothers have the interpretation that is Christianity and the white man's philosophy? Of course, that's what the image of the beast is. If you think the image of the beast is Caesar Borgia alone, you haven't studied enough. The image of the beast is deeper than Caesar Borgia. It's everything that comes with it. It's that white supremacist ideology and philosophy. That's the image. And the mark is the literal physical RFID chip that are planning to implant in your hands or your foreheads, period. That's what's going on, right? So let's skip now here to the next chapter, Revelations 14:9-10. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, worship it, right? So if you're conformed to the ideology and philosophy and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? Either hand or your forehead, if you receive that mark, or you worship or you conform to the ideology and the beast and white supremacy, if you do either of those things, right? Worship is something that you actively have to do. Receiving something is something you only got to do one time in reference to the mark, though. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So if you accept that RFID chip in your hand or in your forehead or anywhere implanted into your body, you will be destroyed and you will die in this thermonuclear holocaust. That's what's going to happen. If you actively worship and are conformed to the image of the beast, this white supremacy, this philosophy, this Christianity, anything contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you're going to die in a thermonuclear holocaust. Both of those things are key to your salvation. All right, understand that, because accepting or receiving that mark in your hand or your forehead is direct violation of the Torah, of the laws of the Most High anyway, because it says we're not supposed to make any incisions into our flesh, period. All right, so know that for all my brothers and sisters out there, man. Don't let your kids do it. They possibly are talking about pushing on welfare recipients, possibly pushing that on prisoners and parolees and things of that nature. So we all need to be watchful and aware of this, because this is coming. The Most High made it a point to put this in the book of Revelations to warn us about this, man. So understand that. This is Jeremiah 50:6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. You see, the Colombian president was in bed with this. Like it says, Latin leader keen on ID chips and chip implants for migrant workers. Our leaders who are supposed to be leading us away from that, leading us to the Most High and His laws, are instead leading us into the exact trap of Satan and the devil, the white man, period. So we got to fight that and combat that. We got to be the true shepherds of the Most High that He has appointed, man. All right? My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. He's trying to cause those people who are simply trying to become migrant workers and come to America to get a little extra money and bring that back to their third world desolate countries. He's trying to lead them astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from hill to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. Got them coming to America thinking this is the golden city, coming back, trying to build up Colombia, not realizing our resting place as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, black people, Mexicans, Colombians. We are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, period. Right? So this is Isaiah 56:11. Yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough. He's doing that for incentives. He's doing that for the kickbacks that the white man is going to give him in order to get in bed with them, man. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. He's sitting there in Colombia looking for how to fatten his pockets, looking for how to make him more rich at the expense of the Colombian people, his people. So that's why our shepherds, man, are crooked and wicked as hell, and they don't really truly pity us.